Hey, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm begging you. And please hit a like. So today I've got a box over here, right there, and it's going to be a little bit of an unboxing. But what you're looking at here is the Delphi, I think it's Delphi, Graham Baxter, Delphi Electronics, and it is the watch escapement analyzer and timer. This is version 2.207, and I just reinstalled this yesterday with support from the supplier in the US, Steven. I won't use last names. If you want to know the contact and how to get this software, you let me know. But so this software, I'm looking at my multi-function time grapher here, and this software does way more than my multi-function time grapher does. And if I look at the multi-function time grapher, very handy, but not as comprehensive as the eTimer. They call it the eTimer software, even though on the top I think it says Watch Escapement Analyzer and Timer, but it's named eTimer. So an amazing piece of software connected to your computer and used for actually doing positional timing and all kinds of analysis of a waveform. So the challenge I've had over the years in using this was the microphone. So I think they sell a microphone for this, for your computer, but I was looking for something I could easily get that works. So the first microphone I tried was this one here, and this is a made in China microphone. It's a piezoelectric thing, right? So there's a piezoelectric microphone connection here. I'm not, even though I'm an electrical engineer, I'm not going to get into details of what that is because I don't friggin' know. Anyway, in this case here, you take this, you pull it back, you put the watch in here, and it's a USB connection, and it does work, it does connect. But the big problem with this particular microphone is when you want to do 5 position timing, you end up having to take this box and move it around, and it just doesn't make sense. So what I was looking at was this. So this is the microphone that comes with the, I call it the witchy timer. The time grapher, it's a 9000 time grapher, and with this one here you can actually put the watch in here. It's quite heavy. I hear it takes 8 volts, so this is not your atypical USB connector to the back of this. It's a very specialized audio connector for this, but you can time the watch in various positions, as you can see. So you can do dial up, dial down. You can even do angles like this, so like whatever that is, 60 degree, 90 degree, or 45 degree actually, and you can flip it around like that. So it's really useful in that manner. So you can do dial, you can do pendant left, pendant right, you can do all of that. So I found this on AliExpress in China that has a USB connector. It wasn't cheap. It's probably about 120 bucks all up, but that's not too bad. And I'm going to see if that actually works. So we're going to do a quick unboxing, and then I'll show you the program after we do the unboxing. All right, let's do this unboxing. I got Wayne's watch ticking away over there, so I'm going to test that later. So it's ready to be reassembled completely. So this came from AliExpress China. So I don't know if the lid for this box is here or somewhere else. It's always hard to tell. Let's cut boxes open and pray. So open it up here, and I believe this is the product. If it's not, I apologize for this video. It's the only thing I was waiting for. It passed customs, because customs probably looked at this and went, what the hell is this? So there we go. Pull that out and toss the box, and what do we got here? Unwrap it. So this came from General Manager Jason Lee. Look at that. This is the dude you got to get a hold of. He's on WhatsApp, so if you want something, I'll put his card aside because it might be useful in the future. More bubbly wrap, and see what I've got here. I really hope this works, because if it works, I'm back to that box I showed you a few seconds ago. Or if it doesn't work, yeah, this is it. Look at this. So there it is, all wrapped up. Get rid of that bubble, the bubbly, take a drink of water. Usually I have elevator music when that happens. So there is the microphone. And again, I was looking at getting an adapter to the audio plug of the other one, so I just use the same microphone, but USB is 5 volts. That other microphone is 8. So I can't do it with a USB adapter. So this flips over nicely. So far, so good. Yeah, it even has a little pad here, so it lands nicely. And it's got a light here. This was not in the old version. Let me look at the old version to see if there's a light. No, there is not a light in the other version. So this has a light. Ooh, I got myself an LED. The spring here, and maybe I get a little bit closer with my camera. Okay, so now I've put a watch in here. So this watch is an Elgin convertible. So it's an interesting pocket watch. And I've got the software running with the Elgin convertible. So the waveform looks pretty good. Its beat error is 0.82, 0.87, somewhere in, and the rate is minus 13 seconds. Now, you can, with this software, you can also run a trace of this like this, and just start it and run the trace overnight, and this will just keep going forever. And then I think this runs 24 hours. And then after that trace is done, you can look at the log. The other thing you can do with this is do all the positional on it, right? So right now I've got it sideways because this Elgin convertible is a little bit tricky because it's not in the case of any type, and there it is there. And I actually don't want to pinch it in too much, but maybe I can put it on the top. So this device also has a lip on the top and a lip right here. So there's 2 lips. So don't give me any lip. So you just snag the lip on the top and snag this lip here like that. And now you've got a pennant down position with the lip in good, and basically the lip is holding the movement, right? So now, let me just remove the key here for a second. So now with this software, I can do 5 positions. So let's start that for a second. So let me just stop this for a second. And before I do that, I'll just show you here. You can basically see where your beat error is. You can see whether it's running fast or slow. This tells you right now it's running slow, and if it's angled the other way, it's running fast. This is the waveform that you're measuring. I've got the unlock threshold around here. I think you want it to be able to capture the signal properly, so it's got to lock and unlock at the proper point. Hopefully that's the right unlock threshold. Yeah, it's running, the amplitude's really good actually, 344, and the beat error is not too bad. So for positional, I click this button, and the first thing it says is dial down. Well, it is dialed down right now, so I run that dial down and see what the numbers are, and that'll run dial down, and it's going to give me averaging when I'm finished all of this. So that's dial down, and it'll stop in a few seconds. And then for this, in this case, I've got 12H. So I could have set this. Let me go to the settings again here. If I stop this and run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, run. There, the wrench is now showing. Go down to the wrench and go to the old pennant up, pennant right, pennant left, and just resets it in this view here. So in this view here, then you've got all the different settings in this view, including the train speed, the averaging time, the lift angle here. I'm not sure what the lift angle is for this movement. And it's got, you can set the 5 positions that you want to run. I said old pennant up, pennant down positions. This Allan deviation I don't know about, so I'd have to read up on that and figure that out. And I don't need escapement teeth for what I'm doing, but I think you can also use this on clocks too, because you've got clock, fork, clock, and AMP. I'm not sure what that means. I've got to read this. You can set the profiles on this. You can calibrate, and I calibrate using calibration channel itself, so that's good. Auto start, numeric indicators, center trace. This is tape speed and everything. And I've got my microphone is this beastie here that I just bought, so that's all good. I have my screen as my output, even though I don't really need an audio output. And what do I got? Upscaled rate, not sure what that is, but I've put it on. If I turn it off, what happens? Hit apply. I don't see a major difference here. So there we go. So that's that. So now when I hit this stabilizing, hit run, now it says dial up. So it's going to measure this in dial up position. So I thought it was dial down last time. So it's dial up. So I'm going to have to go back. When it says dial down, I'll do the other one. So we'll reverse it. So it's running at an amplitude somewhere around 300. So now it wants pennant right. So what I do is I basically take the position, and I don't want to drop this movement, by the way. So pennant right in this case would be doing this and then turning it. And I'll turn it right, because right is left, left is right when you're doing pennants on watches. And then hit run. And it'll run in that position and see what kind of rate I get. My amplitude's not too bad. Sort of settling in around 300. My bead error 0.4, that's actually excellent. So when I do pennant left, I got to remember to do it the other way. So pennant up. So pennant up would be in this position here. And then you hit run. And again, it settles down after it starts working away. And it's giving me the numbers here too. So it's giving me the dial up, the pennant right. It's actually tracing the numbers on this trace. This would be your traditional tape trace for a traditional time grapher. So it says pennant left. So in this case, I did it the other way. So I want to make sure the pennant is pointing this way. Right, let's see if I can rotate it all the way around for that, or what do I have to do here? I think eventually it'll stop. Oh, there we go. So it does do that. So I hit run again. And it's pretty cool. So this is the USB version of my Witchy time grapher, which is a Witchy number 1900. But I wanted a USB version so I could use this particular software to do the time graphing. So there we go. So now it wants dialed down. Now before I had dial up, so I got to do it the opposite way. So before it was like, let me see, dial down would be, dial up would be like this. There we go. It actually grabs the watch movement really well. So you hit run. I always put my hand underneath just in case it drops. So that's remember I said I had to do opposite because of the way I did it. So, and you can type those in the software too. So I'll let that run. And it's working really well. So my amplitude is excellent on this watch. So there we go. So there are my numbers. And if you look at the rates, minus 10, minus 50, minus whatever, minus 50, plus 50 on pennant left, that's pretty high. And there are my amplitudes and my bead errors and the durations it was testing it at. And so my rate is plus 101. That must be the sum of the rate seconds per day, because that can't be the rate if this is it. It's got to be the averages. So the average rate here for this watch is minus 6 seconds per day. So that's really good. The average bead error is 0.82, which is also good, and the average amplitude is 292. So these are the kind of numbers I want out of this particular watch. And so you can do all the positions here and be able to tell where you're sitting. So that's that. And again, the same commands I had with the wrench. You also have these commands on a menu system here. And you've got auto centering, and this allows me to, when I'm hitting run, it auto centers the signal. So I've got the signal here, and I've got auto centering on. So I think I may not have the lift angle right on this watch, which could affect the amplitude number, and maybe the bead error, but for sure the amplitude number. But I'm not going to bother looking that up right now. I can save the profile I set for this as well, but it's running really well. So there you go. So that's the watch escapement analyzer and timer. It's by Delph, D-E-L-P-H, Delph Electronics, and I'm running it in Graham Baxter. So if you look up eTimer or watch escapement analyzer and timer, you can purchase this version from Steve in the US. Really nice guy. This is where I got it years ago. I think I bought it around 2018. So, and Steve's a great guy and sells this particular product. I won't give you last names, but so that's it right there. And the new setup for the microphone. Let me just very carefully flip this around. See how I do this. I need arrows, I think. And it's got a little indicator saying it's sending the signal. But the amplitude on the mic is crazy good. So it's maybe too good. So there we go. So it works really well. It works for the pocket watch here. If you lay the pocket watch all the way down on the inside, the amplitude's too high, I think. So you may want to set it up high when you're working on the movement. But this is working really well. And this particular watch is working pretty good. So that's it. So I'm JD. Thanks for watching. I recommend this product. You can get it on AliExpress. It's somewhere about $100 on AliExpress. Just look it up, and if you're interested, I can send you the link if you send me a note. And this does all kinds of cool stuff. And the data's all down here that you're looking at. So that's it. So have a good day, and thanks for watching my channel.